get up and walk. In the Gospels, we know that Jesus worked many cures. He cured the blind, he cured the deaf, he cured those who couldn't speak, he threw out demons, and he even rose people from the dead. And usually he did this as a matter of a request. Somebody came to him and said, please help my daughter, or help my son, or please cure me. But there is one incident in the gospel where Jesus wasn't asked. Actually, it was the apostles who asked. And that's the story of the young man who was born crippled, who had never walked in his life. And he was sitting by the side of the road when Jesus came by. And the apostles said to Jesus, Jesus, are you going to cure that boy? And upon the request of the apostles and their curiosity, Jesus said, yes, I will cure that boy. So we went over to the boy, put out his arm, shook the boy's hand, and pulled him up. And for the first time in that boy's life, he was able to stand on his own and to walk. Now, what does this story have to say to you and me? You know, whether we like to believe it or not, we're all crippled, we're all deformed, and we're all in some ways paralyzed by our sin. And that's why Jesus came. He came to free us from that paralysis. He came to free us from that deformity. He came to free us from our inability to walk forward in our journey of life. And he does this sometimes at someone else's request, because we have lots of people who are praying for us that we don't even know. And when they request from Jesus to help us, we may have a cure. Not a physical cure, but a cure of our spirit. We will look to see that we indeed need help, that we need to break that grip of paralysis of evil and wrong in our life. We need to turn ourselves around to be able to stand up and walk in that journey of life, which means we have to be like Christ. And that means sometimes we have to give up some of the things we hold on to, even though we know they're not leading us into a path forward, because we're so used to having them in our life that we don't know what it's going to be like to walk without it. And so what we need to do is to look at what's in our life that's holding us back on that journey. Are we too critical? Do we give into self-indulgence more than we should? Do we not respect life? Do we not look to the needs of others? Are we selfish and self-centered and don't do anything that's beyond our nose? Do we see the needs of others before us and then go out and reach and fill those needs if we're indeed possible for us to do? See, these are all the things that Jesus taught us in his life. To put others first, but put his Father first. His Father comes first. And then when we have the Father in our life, then everything else falls into place. Because we weren't put here for just us. We're not here just for us. We're here for others because we're part of this great fabric of time and space where we're all connected. We're all connected in this cosmos, whether we like to think about it or not. But we are. We're all connected by grace and the love of the Father. So when we look at our life and we see places that we're tied down, we see places where we're handicapped, we need the help of others. And so allow yourself to be helped by others. Sometimes we don't let other people help us because we're so independent. We think we can do everything on our own, and we can't. We're never made to be that way. We were made to be brothers and sisters in God. And that meant we are all part of each other's life. And so therefore, we have to let go and let God, as they say. And let go and let God change you, transform you, transfigure you, and let him take away the evil of what it means to be crippled in the spirit and be free to walk in the Lord.